The most expensive mistake in history. Imagine spending $327 million on a spacecraft heading to Mars. Now imagine losing it because of a units conversion error. Yeah, a units error. That's it. Not a meteor, not a solar flare, not some wild act of God. Just a spreadsheet sending the wrong units to the wrong software. That's gonna be a yikes from me. But let's back up. Way up. It's the 1990s. NASA is riding high. The space program is buzzing with ambition and big plans. Mars is the next big frontier. They want to study the Martian climate, the weather, the atmosphere, and figure out where water might have been. Big dreams. Very big dreams. The Mars Climate Orbiter was born. 9 years of development. Think about that. 9 years. 9 years of engineers, scientists, contractors, meetings, and coffee. So much coffee. You can feel it. The price tag? $327.6 million. Real American dollars. NASA partners with Lockheed Martin Astronautics in Denver, Colorado. Lockheed builds the bird, NASA flies it. 2 teams, 1 mission. What could go wrong? December 11th, 1998. Launch day. A Delta II rocket carries the orbiter into the Florida sky. The crowd goes absolutely wild. 9 months. That's how long the orbiter would travel through space before reaching Mars. 9 months to get it right. 9 months to double-check everything. And yet, every single day during the flight, Lockheed Martin's navigation software was sending trajectory data to NASA. Specifically, an AMD file. Angular Momentum Desaturation Data. Basically thruster firing info to keep the spacecraft on course. Here's the thing. The beautiful, absolutely unhinged thing. Lockheed's software sent the data in pound force seconds. NASA's navigation software expected Newton seconds. Metric. One team using Imperial, 1 metric. No one checked. Not once. For 9 months. Every single navigation correction was just a little bit wrong. Little errors stacking on little errors like an absolute disaster lasagna. Weeks before Mars' arrival, the navigation team noticed something. The spacecraft's path looked a little off. Not wildly wrong, just a bit sus. But nobody raised a red flag. They figured it was instrument noise. Just signal scatter. Normal stuff. Meanwhile, the spacecraft is drifting, getting closer and closer to Mars. September 23rd, 1999. The big day. Mars Orbit Insertion. MOI. The spacecraft fires its engines to slow down and enter orbit. The plan was to slip behind Mars at 140 to 150 kilometers altitude. Nice and safe. Planned to perfection. Instead, the orbiter came in at just 57 kilometers altitude, deep inside the Martian atmosphere. That's 57 kilometers. Way too low. The friction was catastrophic. At that speed, in that atmosphere, the spacecraft had no chance. Back at JPL in Pasadena, California, the mission control team was watching. They were expecting the spacecraft to pop back out from behind Mars right on schedule, triumphant. And then, nothing. The signal never came back. Every engineer in that room felt it. That hollow drop in the stomach. The phones started ringing. JPL to Lockheed, Lockheed to JPL. Where is it? What happened? They searched and searched for a signal. Nothing but silence from Mars. It was gone. $327 million. Gone. Absolutely gone. The investigation started immediately. Teams poring over every log, every number, every correction burn. Then someone found it. The AMD file. The units. Pound force seconds, not Newton seconds. A factor of 4.45 difference. Every single navigation correction off by a factor of 4.45 for 9 months straight. You know what the fix would have been? 1 line of code, maybe 2. A unit check, a simple flag. Free, literally free to implement. Instead, $327 million. Vaporized. NASA's review board issued its findings. Root cause, metric confusion. Lockheed Martin admitted the error. They had used imperial units. In the software interface file, the NASA software assumed metric. No one validated the interface. Absolutely unhinged, right? The fallout was significant. Careers were affected, reputations. The agency was embarrassed globally. This wasn't just an American oops. This was embarrassment at scale. But here's what changed after. NASA overhauled its review processes. Every mission interface would now have mandatory unit verification checks, multi-team interface agreements, cross-checks, audits, red teams. Every Mars mission since then has had redundant unit validation. Mars Odyssey, Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, Perseverance. All metric. All because one spacecraft burned up. $327 million. Vaporized by a typo. They still teach this case in every aerospace engineering program. Every student, every program. Check your units. Always. Forever. And honestly, the bitterest part? The fix was always right there. One conversion table, one review, one person saying, "Hold on, what units are we using here?" That's all it would have taken. One question, $0, 327 million saved, just like that. Instead, we got a very expensive lesson in why metric matters, and why engineers from different teams need to actually talk to each other. Like, actually talk, not just send files. The Mars Climate Orbiter burned up so future missions wouldn't have to. That's cold comfort. Very cold. But the legacy is real. $327 million. And the most important lesson in the history of aerospace engineering: check your units. The most expensive mistake in history.